Good morning. It is Monday, September 26th. Puts us 90 days out from Christmas Day. It is December 25th in 90 days. So welcome into the week. For today, a bunch of us are heading over. That's the reason I have a windbreaker on. A bunch of us are heading over to play in the Seacoast Board of Realtors Golf. That is, if you're wondering, if you're like, oh, yeah, I have that today, and I have no idea what I'm doing. We're heading over that way at 11 o'clock, and then there's a 12:30 shotgun start, and then all the things. That's at the Wentworth. If you're playing, you're welcome for the reminder. If you're not playing, you should sign up next year. It's Amazeballs, and you don't have to be a member of the board. Anyone can sign up for the Seacoast Board of Realtors. It's at the Wentworth by the Sea. It's a phenomenal course, and it's a great take, and it's always for a great cause. It's for the kids. That's why we don't get upset when we play realtor golf. It's always to benefit the children. It's for the kids. That's why I bring my kids over the weekend when I golf, because I can say it's for the kids. Always benefits the kids to some extent. So that's going on today. We are in the midst of it, and then at 9 o'clock, Ignite continues. So Ignite is wrapping up for the region. It has been on all month. The region has now moved it digitally to a quarterly format, which begs the question, are we going to reset at the end of the fourth quarter or the top of the fourth quarter? I do believe they're probably going to go in November. I'm not really sure. And I think we might be doing something locally. We've had conversations. I don't know what I was saying. We've had conversations where we might do something different for our market center locally and then still partake in the regional event. We'll keep you up to speed on all of that. Nonetheless, Ignite wrapping up as we get to the end of September. Our market center is teaching tomorrow. Susan Kenyon and myself will be on tomorrow for Ignite. That, again, is 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock today, 9 o'clock tomorrow, and for the rest of the month until we get through all 20 sessions. Those are also getting simulcast and recorded. You can find them on the YouTube channel for Keller Williams New England. So if you look up Keller Williams New England on YouTube, you'll find the channel. You'll see past episodes. And you can also go to our LMS, KWCLM training, and find past episodes from our market center as well. We've been doing Ignite 6.0 since May, so the May and July videos are all there. And you can see us teach it as opposed to the region teach it. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. That aside, Ask the Brokers is today at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock today on Keller TV. Ask the Brokers, you got JV, you've got Westcott. Actually, it's Westcott today. JV's on assignment today. Westcott has that at 1 o'clock today, and then the Associates Growth Call is at 2:30 today on the link. Just click the link in the news. It's going to take you right there. I do believe that also resides on the Keller Williams New England Zoom channel. Simply click the link. So big rocks for you guys that are coming up that are great opportunities for you. Of course, Ignite is ongoing. Above and beyond that, this Thursday, a huge opportunity this Thursday to hang out and be in a full-day training here in Portsmouth, also on Zoom. It is the Business Planning Clinic. We're doing 4 of these this fall. This one is this Thursday. It's in Portsmouth. Then we're going to go toward the end of October. We'll be in Meredith, and then we're going to hit North Conway in November and York in December. Those dates will get announced soon. We're obviously doing some moves in both of those spaces, so we're just making sure we can lock down exact times and dates before we make an announcement because it's in a little bit of a flux right now. But for sure, this Thursday in Portsmouth, and then I believe it is Thursday, October 27th in Meredith. Both of those will be in person with sponsored lunch, as well as a hybrid opportunity if you need to be at home. They are full-day trainings. There's a lot of information happening in one day, and I appreciate that. I'm also going to remind you that we're doing that for one full day to plan your next one full year. So it is a bargain on time when you look at it in that way, because we're spending the day for you to start to at least start to build your plan for the year. You're not going to walk out with a finished product. Maybe you will. Some of you might if it's your 9th business planning clinic. If it's your freshman year, you're going to walk out with maybe a lot of questions, but that's what we're all here for. So when you're leaving business planning clinic and you need to come and see Zoe and myself and be like, I don't know what just happened. Everyone has been there. Be in the classroom on Thursday for sure. Then more importantly, before we even get there, this Wednesday, hyper important, once a quarter, we pull contracts off the map and we insert the great Stephen Hyde. Attorney Stephen Hyde is doing risk mitigation There's an opportunity there from 10 to noon. That is in Portsmouth. It will also be hybrid on the Lookin' Chicken, and you'll have an opportunity there through KellerTV.com to be in the conversation. We do not record contracts. We do not record risk mitigation with Attorney Hyde. So you're either in Portsmouth for that or you're online. There's an opportunity to gain clarity with some small questions, although for the most part, the roadmap has been laid because he's researched everything he's going to discuss on Wednesday. If you have any further questions about how to get your questions in front of Attorney Hyde, you can reach out to Sue Doyle or Jen Vashon because they gather all the information and get it to Attorney Hyde. That is awesome. That is not to be missed. Nowhere else on planet America do you have counsel spending 2 hours with our agent body working through these conversations. And this is stuff that he's dealing with on a regular basis, stuff that he's dealing with, and of course, it's all blind box. Like, nobody's going to find out who he's talking about. He's using historically past circumstances to answer questions you guys might have in the present. And above and beyond that, his knowledge from being on the board. He is a member of the commission for the state of New Hampshire for real estate as well. So a lot of information coming your way on Wednesday. Be here for that without fail. And then right behind that in Portsmouth in the training room, this is hands-on in the training room, 12:30 to 2:30. Right after that, Jason Westcott is doing land deals. So be here for that. And then, of course, like we said, on Thursday. Now, on Thursday, some of you are conflicted, and I completely appreciate this. When we announced that Nathan was going to be doing from 10 to 11 o'clock on Thursday in the Shark Tank in the Agent Lounge here in Portsmouth, and this is in the room only with Nathan, some people are like, well, but then there's Business Planning Clinic. If you are going to be in the room with Nathan from 10 to 11, then you can do Business Planning Clinic in October or November or December, or you could, if you need to, jump out and go to Nathan from 10 to 11. My feelings aren't hurt. You have a chance, if you're a commercial agent, to be in that mastermind, beyond the shadow of a doubt, go be with Nathan. We're not trying to step on each other's toes. We're just trying to get a lot of information into the month of September, and he'll be down the hallway in Portsmouth in the Shark Tank for his commercial mastermind. That's 10 to 11, and of course, Business Planning Clinic goes on all day. So don't feel that you are doing yourself or anybody a disservice if you're trying to figure out which one to go to. So don't overthink it. If you want to pop out for Nathan and then go back, because we're recording Business Planning Clinic, if you want to go back later and watch the hour that you missed, it's up to you. Fridays are forever changed. Fridays, we now do the quick start really quick. We do it 8:22 to 8:30 quick start because 8:30 on Friday mornings. He was phenomenal this past Friday. Our president from Keller Williams Realty International does Wealth Building 2.0. That is ongoing. So that is every Friday. And you can be in Meredith or Portsmouth for the in-person view and a mastermind to follow, or you can watch it on the Facebook page. So there's a link for the Facebook page in the news, and you can join that as a member. And then above and beyond that, that's where you can tune in from if you can't make it to the Market Center or the Business Center up in Meredith on a regular basis. We just want to make sure it's available to you guys. And we also want to make sure you guys, throughout the 2 years that really were COVID, in that window where values were up, people's equities were up, and a lot of business was taking place. You guys made a lot of money. A lot of people created a lot of money for their families and for their loved ones. And we want to make sure that as you start to build that arsenal of wealth for you and your loved ones and start to build 6 months, 12 months reserves for your business, 6 months, 12 months reserves for your family, that you're having honest conversations. And it starts at home with your loved ones. Excuse me, your partner, your spouse, making sure that you guys are on the same page about, and an interesting exercise to do, actually, it comes from Bold, is you sit down and you separately, but you make a worksheet that over the course of a month, I got day one, I got $1,000. Day two, I got 2,000. Day three, I got 4,000. You keep doubling it. And you sit away from each other and you write down with that money how you would use it. How you would use it. What would you spend it on? What would you invest it in? And it doesn't matter. There's no rules. And you sit away from your partner or spouse and you do this. And then you come back together to see if you're in financial alignment. I think that's where the conversation starts. So for Mark King to be spending time with us on Fridays with Wealth Building 2.0, if you really want to make a difference, make sure you and your team at home are on the same page about what you're doing with your next earned dollar. And once that happens, it doesn't make it any easier if you need to make some tough changes. And Gary says this all the time, and it's so true, so true. Do not start making cuts in your business expenses until you've got your home in order. And there's not a piece of me that wants you guys to start spending more money on things that you truly know you don't need to spend money on within real estate. That's not my point. My point is, do you have the ability to look at your budget at home and save money there first? Because money spent on your business, well spent, well managed, red light, green light, right? And we'll talk about this during the economic model this Thursday during Business Planning Clinic. There's your shameless plug. Well managed, everything that you're putting into your business is an investment. Every dollar we put into our business, we always say 3x, right? If I'm putting $1 in, I want 4 back because I want the 1 back to break even, and I want to go 3x above breaking even. We hear this all the time. And if you've ever said this to yourself or your cat, you're driving down the street, you just wrote a check to Billo or anybody else, and you ran the math in your head and you're like, well, and I hear this all the time. Zoe hears this all the time. Well, Timmy, listen, as long as I close 2 deals, I break even. Well, then stay home. That's not what we're doing here. We want to be profitable. And this is where people get caught up in their feelings. And they're like, well, no. Remember when I got here, Tim? I said, I like people and I like houses. And if I can put people in the houses, well, that would be swell. I get that. I appreciate that. And don't ever forget why you started. And tied to us loving that activity is creating opportunity for our families. Nobody's driving away from their house right now. Nobody's driving away from their loved ones right now to not be profitable. That is not the end game. So when we are writing a check, when we are investing in our business, not spending money on our business, it should always be investment-based. Because even if we're talking about your salary, there's cost of sale and there's expenses, right? But even an expense of a salary for someone who's on my team, when you hire your executive assistant, when you hire your director of operations, when you hire your transaction coordinator, when you hire your listing manager, all of those people are going to give you a return. My financial investment in them being on my team should be a profitable return to the business, because I should be able to take on their salary and still grow. If they're the right person, you will. And that's why we always say slow to hire, quick to fire. That sounds callous. It's not. Slow to hire, quick to fire. That's why career visioning is in play. It's why we use the DISC and the KPA to make sure you're bringing the right people in. So are you investing in your business? Then take a look at home. And everybody struggles with this. And probably the easiest one to pick on, because everybody got all of them during COVID because everybody was just home. Do you need all 38 streaming services? Can you go through your Xfinity or your DirecTV or your Dish TV? Do you need all the channels? Or is your schedule as such, and if you're pulling this off, I adore you for this, because I think this is part of the erosion of the American family. Although, were you paying for, Blue Apron or HelloFresh, any of them? Were you paying for that back when everyone was home? When schedules were different, when sports weren't happening. But as that's all come back into play, are you paying for those subscription meal services, and God forbid, are you throwing some of them out? Like, what made sense during COVID to take on because your lifestyle was different? Your address was your lifestyle. It wasn't your zip code or your county. And can you have a fierce conversation about the home budget and things, because you've made a commitment to really leaning in, things that you really won't have time for anymore? It's not that they can't come back, but on the home front, are you willing to live a Spartan life for some time? So you can take maybe some of the savings there and just put it towards savings and investments, or you can re-engineer it into investments in your business, things that you know will truly help. Don't go on a shopping spree, but if you've hit that achievement ceiling, there's a tool system or relationship. Tool system or relationship. What is next for you? Think about that. We are 90 days away from Christmas Day today. It is September 26th. We're 90 days away from December 25th. Next week, we are talking about 2023. 90 days out on Monday is going to be 2023. That's where we're at. November 15th will probably be the last purchase and sale that you'll put under contract this year that will close this year. So without fail, I know when you got here, there was something about the thought of doing real estate, the feeling of doing real estate that got you excited because you love people and you love houses. I know I jest and I pick on that a little bit. Keep that passion. Don't forget why you started. Don't ignore the new information you've gotten since you got here. Don't ignore the conversations that you can lean into at no cost to grow your business. Ask anybody else in your life, and there'll be very few, very few. Warren Buffett owns a lot of companies, and I bet, because he is just who he is, I bet he does calls like Mark does. Not on this basis, though. But ask your friends. I promised I wouldn't laugh. Ask your fellow brokers anywhere in New England. Does their president of their company spend time once a week for a half an hour? He ran long on Friday. Having an honest, transparent, vulnerable conversation about his past, his climb, and his present. And he makes that point too. Mark King says, I'm not president because I have wealth. It's because I have wealth that I became president. It's the path, the journey, the mindset, the changes he made that put him in Gary's target, right? On Gary's radar. And the blessing of Mark is that he's gone from agent, all the roles, to president. He's been where you are. He's been on the path that you're walking right now as you continue to grow your business. And he's going to be here every Friday at 8:30 for Wealth Building. Please take part in that. A temporary change to our Friday schedule, and I'm going to beg of you to leap in on this at 1:30 on Fridays. I know 1:30 on Fridays, not perfect. I was going to be going to lunch. Lunch can wait. Jump into this opportunity. Oh, I have the beam of light on my forehead. I love that. Look at that. Dear Lord. 1:30 on Fridays up until October 13th. Todd Smith, Bold coach, who's going to be in Greater Portland for this fall's Bold, is doing Bold bonus sessions. You can click the link. I know there was a little bit of a snafu last week. You need the password that's baked in now. It's Be Bold. You click the link on Zoom, 1:30 on Fridays for the next few weeks. He's doing Bold bonus sessions. You can get to know Todd. You can hear more about the class. You can hear about how the class has changed and grown and evolved. And then you get to spend the whole day with him on October 13th. First session of Bold, first step of Bold is sponsored. It is a free day of training with lunch. And at that point, if it takes you until then to decide to lean all the way into the class, at that point, you can sign up for steps 2 through 7, which start on October 27th. We graduate on December 8th. And between December 8th graduation and June 8th, you have 6 months after graduation, your first 4 deals, Nathan reimburses you. Nathan reimburses you out of owner's profit, right? It's not out of your commission. You get reimbursed $200, $200, $200, $199 because Nathan believes in the class this much. The ALC votes for this every year. Your leadership and staff know how important the class is. Your fellow agents know how important the class is. You want more information? Here is the domain. Go to bold.com. GOTOBOLD.com. GOTOBOLD.com. Go to bold.com. That is the link. There's a landing page. You can sign up for first step. Then you can sign up for steps 2 through 7 for $7.99, which you get paid back when you graduate and close your 4 deals. And there's also the information about Todd. You can get to know him. The highest rated Bold coach in North America. Last launch. Phenomenal talent. You're overthinking what you need to do. I need you to overdo what you need to do. Because you know exactly what it boils down to. It's about having conversations, about setting appointments. When we run into you in the hallway, you see Zoe and I, we're never going to ask you. I'm never going to ask you how many calls you made. Never going to ask you how many calls you made. If somebody's asking you about how many calls you made, that is a limited conversation. There's limiting beliefs in that conversation. First and foremost, you're making it sound like that's the most important thing to do. I'm going to ask you as your coach, how many appointments do you have set? That's the end-all, be-all. That's the end-all, be-all. The appointments, the amount of appointments that you set based on your conversion rates are going to allow you to take that many more listings, take that many more buyers, control the commission conversation, especially if you're taking the listing. You get to go in and assist them, making a great decision on what they're gonna list their house at, their initial marketing price. And then above and beyond that, you get to explain and defend your worth and the commission that you and the seller agree on. That's where it's at right now. So how many appointments do you need to set this week? Chunk it down. How many appointments do you need to set today? And then by proxy, how many conversations are you going to have? If that's walking up and down Main Street, if that's door knocking your geographic farm, or if that's picking up the phone. Why do we always talk about the phone? We always talk about the phone because it's the fastest way to get in touch with people. This is not the only way to do it. If Nate were in the room, and he's not, so I'll say it for him. He says this all the time, and he's right. This is not the only way to do it. Phone calls are not it. Nate, I would argue, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, I would argue Nate did probably most of his business being out and about. He also didn't shy away from picking up the phone. You've met Nate, right? But that's your human batting cage. That's going to get you to set up more opportunities, set up more appointments, check in with more people. And you're not checking in to see if they're buying, selling, or investing today. You're checking in to see how they're doing, make them feel heard and cared for. And when the opportunity arises to ask for help in and around your business, you do. Tim, how's real estate? I'm so glad you asked. Sitting with some teammates today. It's 90 days till Christmas. Did you know that? Gasp and swoon. Hey, so our goal for the year was to help 68 families. We need 19 more families to help, Ted. Who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that we can serve? Well, what do you mean by that? Well, we're looking for listings for our buyers, buyers for our listings, and talent for our team. Money, money, passive money, right? But we don't get there until work comes up, and work will come up. Work does not come up if you don't talk to anybody. We're in an extraordinary position that ultimately, when you break it down, we spend our days checking in with our people, making sure they feel heard and cared for. Now, the end game, yes, is to find the person who needs our help. The end game is to set the appointment. You get to play in a space where you're checking on people, where you're asking if they need anything. Head down, heart up. Service first, sales second. When the time comes, when they become transactional, you'll be their huckleberry. Not if they don't know that you're alive and you're here to help. And it's incumbent upon us to check in with our people and make sure they know our role in their lives. Take the time today to connect with people. Make the call today that you've been putting off. We have the math. 0.0 humans will be offended that you checked in today. You took ownership of the distance. You took ownership of the time frame. Right? That's our biggest limiting belief. Well, Tim, I can't call Stacy. We haven't talked in 7 years. Stacy hasn't called you either. Hey, Stacy. I'm glad I caught you. I'm so sorry it's been so long. I trust you well. How are you? Let her fill in the blank and then take it from there. Because what's going to come up? The forward conversation, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. It is child's play. When we go and play in our space and we have our conversations, our schedules change. And Gary always says, show me your schedule, I'll show you your future. What is your plan for your face this week? And does your audio match your video? You told yourself, you told your loved ones, you told your teammates, you told your coach, you told your MAPS coach, you told your TL, you told your OP, you told your friend, you told your cat, this is what I'm going to do this year. So let's get to it. And if we can help, we are here for you. Never forget that. If you're looking for help with your marketing, you're going to check out KWCLMmarketing.com. KWCLMmarketing.com. Her name is Alana Babineau. You can book time with her at timewithbabs.com. BABS, timewithbabs.com. You need help with your transactions. You've hit critical mass. You're at the point now where if I am sitting and typing away doing a contract, it is not my highest and best use anymore. I should be out signing babies and getting more deals. So you need a transaction coordinator. His name is Dr. Jason Houle. You can reach him at fulcrumts.com, FULCRUMTS.com. Fulcrum Transactional Services, fulcrumts.com. Reach out to Jason, find out what's going on, have a conversation about what you need and how he can help, and connect those dots and move that off your desk so you can play in your space and help more people. If you need our help, you can reach out to myself. Your brokers are available at broker@kwclm.com. Jason Westcott is 603-234-2589 for Jason and your broker team, broker@kwclm.com. And you can reach me at meetwithcoach.com, meetwithcoach.com, or 603-834-2856. We're so pleased to be in business with you. I'm asking you to lean in and be in business with us. The resources are here. Everything that you want the next 5 years to look like starts here. And you do not have to be great to start. I'm asking you to start to be great. Have a great day. We'll see you.